Postcards from Beyond, written and narrated by Paul Harris. Introduction. On the wall of my teacher's office hangs an ornate Thai Buddhist ceremonial fan, traditionally used by monks when they're teaching. The Dhamma teacher symbolically holds the fan to mask his face as he talks, as a way of indicating that the teaching is being given free from any bias due to conceit, desire for acclaim, or any other kind of personal advantage. It's done simply for the benefit of the listener. As a meditation teacher, writing my first book, I found myself confronted with many issues concerning quite how to put across this most extraordinary teaching. For instance, how much personal detail should there be in it? Was it profane to attempt to convey such deeply profound principles using personal anecdotes and humour? On the other hand, was it possible to give an authentic account of the Buddha's teaching without any of the author's individual character seeping through? I concluded that it was not. Gaining insight into the Buddhist principle of non-self does not equate to undergoing a charisma bypass. If anything, following this way, you actually end up far more able to be yourself than you were before you started. My wish was to express something of what it feels like to enter wholeheartedly into a meditative training such as the Noble Eightfold Path, and to do so in an entertaining way that might help to hold the reader's interest. Most importantly, I wanted to give expression to the fundamental truth that the goal of the Buddha's training, the cessation of suffering, is entirely real and attainable. My experience of going through the Vipassana training is that it is far more intimate, messy and emotional than a purely academic rendering of it would perhaps depict. I fully appreciate, however, the need to be properly respectful, serious, and accurate in conveying the Buddha's teaching. I have endeavoured, therefore, to balance the more emotive aspects of the training with a clear portrayal of the analytical precision and even-mindedness that is also developed. Embarking upon the process of writing, I soon discovered how impossible it is to express adequately how Buddha Dhamma is so completely flawless, logically consistent, and powerfully effective. After all these years, I still feel a sense of awe whenever I contemplate how all the various strands of this teaching relate to one another and come together to create such a perfect whole. Real understanding of how all the pieces of the jigsaw fit together, however, can only come through undertaking the training and discovering it directly for oneself. All any book on Buddhism can do is offer a representative sample of what it's really all about. I have contented myself, therefore, with merely presenting a cross-section of the various layers of the training. In no way should the contents of this book be taken to embody the complete teaching. A note on style. I think it was Albert Einstein who said that it was important that everything was made as simple as possible, but not any simpler. The Buddha's teaching is, in essence, very straightforward. In the telling, however, it does become more complicated. For simplicity's sake, I've decided to keep technical Buddhist terms to a bare minimum. I have, however, retained the use of some Pali words, for example, dukkha, nibbana, and vipassana. This is partly because they are in such common usage in Buddhist circles, but also because the words often carry subtle gradations of meaning above and beyond anything their nearest and most suitable English counterparts convey. You will notice that I have kept the chapters quite short. My idea was for the book to be a series of reflections that would give meditation students food for thought and help stimulate the desire for real practice, but in a concise way. With our busy modern lifestyles, not everyone has lots of free time that they can devote to reading. My intention was that each chapter would be a self-contained unit, but that there would also be a natural and logical progression to their ordering. Each chapter can, therefore, either be read in sequence or separately dipped into as each reader prefers. I am not a writer by trade, and communicating some pretty hefty ideas in a way that engages readers of all levels of interest has proved to be somewhat challenging. If I have come even vaguely close to achieving my aim, then it could not have been without the generous help of others. I am very grateful to Alan James for looking over the manuscript and offering such cogent positive criticism. I would also especially like to thank Keith Richardson, who patiently worked through the entire book, offering suggestions for tweaks to the punctuation and grammar. Thanks too to Brother Nigel, Sister Sarah and Ander Lutkowitz for their patience and support during what became a rather drawn-out process. Finally, I would like to thank all the students at the House of Inner Tranquility who have devoted themselves so wholeheartedly to the training and for helping to make our Sangha the vibrant, friendly and steadfast community that it is.